Executive Council, the unelected governor of the Central Bank. I was a governor for 8 years, you were not. Heads of government agencies and parastatals, presidential aides, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. In 1793, Abigail Adams wrote to her son, John Quincy Adams, in the height of the American Revolution. And she said, "It is not in the same calm of life or the repose of a Pacific station that great characters are formed." She further posited that the habits of a vigorous mind are formed contending with difficulties. History reminds us of this, that wisdom and penetration are the products of experience, not the lessons of leisure or retirement. Exactly 1,010 days ago, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was sworn into office. The economy was literally in a tailspin. As one commentator said, the government and the people were all trapped in a web of madness, in a circus of insanity, in a cauldron of sheer lunacy. And here we have a leader who had the courage of conviction to take far-reaching decisions. Our foreign reserves was hovering in the neighborhood of $3 billion, not enough to import oil for a month. And the withdrawal of fuel subsidy was not captured in his maiden broadcast. He's a student of power, he's a practitioner of power. He deliberately refused to insert it in his maiden speech. And the measure of every nation, as they said, is the man at the helm of affairs, because the tone of leadership becomes the climate of the nation. 3 years, the economy has bounced back. We have crossed the Rubicon and we are on a path to sustain growth. Here we have a CBN governor to whom the president had given him the full autonomy to discharge his functions. And posterity will be kind to you. So, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of a grateful nation, on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I must extend with sincerity our appreciation for the support the Federal Executive Council and other members of the government have given to this administration. In seasons of tough decisions and necessary reforms, you have chosen country over comfort. You have engaged with our agenda in the spirit of partnership, offered scrutiny without sabotage, and proved that democracy works best when the institutions of government compete in the race to serve the people better. History will remember that at a time when it was easy to inflame division, the Federal Executive Council and members of the establishment steadied the nation with responsibility. On behalf of the President, I want to most sincerely thank you for your comradeship, for your support, and for your partnership. What every nation needs, beyond plans and policies, is leadership that is unified. Leadership that resists the lazy binaries that insist we must be separated before we can be understood. Nations do not fracture because of hardship. Nations fracture when suspicion becomes a national language, when the politics of us and them becomes more persuasive than the promise of we. Yet our gathering tonight is proof that we can defy such categorization. Here, we have Nigerians of different faith, different ethnic configurations, from different parts of the country, all fused into one in the mission to serve this great nation. This is the greatest black nation on earth, 247 million people. And by 2050, will be the third most populous nation on earth. And by the end of the century, Nigeria will be the most populous nation in the world. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the political season is around the corner. I will urge you, I'm imploring on all of us, I beseech thee, we are all political animals, as Galileo Galilei said. We have to sell our government. South Africa has a population of 60 million, not more than 20% of our population. South Africa is generating the equivalent of 60 trillion naira every year from personal income tax. How much is our people? A paltry 3 trillion naira. When the fly buzzes around and they stop the man with a pestering soul, no one talks. But when this man grabs the fly and throws it into his mouth, the whole world will erupt in a cacophony of exclamations and reprimands. The same people that are shouting hoarse that the tax reform was meant to further pulverize and pauperize the poor is far from the truth. But we have to go out and tell truth to the people. We have to educate them. We have to mount the pulpits and sell our government to the Nigerian people. And tell them the truth. Politically speaking, we're in a much more comfortable position now than in 2023. And nobody twisted the governors of Rivers or Delta or Akwa Ibom or Kano or Adamawa or Taraba or Enugu to join the APC. It's at their own volition because they have seen the light of the As we break our fast tonight, we are reminded that even the strongest among us cannot sustain himself without the simplest of gifts: a sip of water, a date, a shared prayer. This table is a lesson in perspective. It strips power of arrogance and dresses leadership in humility. The president practically ate all the same meal that all of us ate. It tells us that the real strength of authority is not in how loudly it speaks, but in how faithfully it serves. It invites us to remember and renew our intention that governance, like fasting, must be anchored in sincerity, in sacrifice, and in compassion for those whose lives are lived far from comfort. May God accept our fasting, our prayers, and our striving. May God honor the sacrifices of this season for all our brothers and sisters who are observing the Lent. May the Almighty cleanse our hearts of rancor and cleanse our public life of the poisons of distrust. May He make this gathering a seat of unity that grows beyond this hall, beyond our offices, and into every community where Nigerians launch to see their leaders act as one family, committed to one destiny. May he continue to guide and protect our leader, His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR.